What is up, everybody? My name is Tristan, and today we are doing something different today. And today we are going to be doing a scout weapon tier list. So now I'm a huge TF2 fan. I like playing TF2 a lot, and in that game I main scout. So I'm gonna be ranking every scout weapon. So let's go ahead and do it. All right. The first up is the sword. So I have the official TF2 wiki. So I'm gonna go down here, and we have the 3-run blade. All right. So it's base is 35, crit is 105, bleeding for 8 seconds times 5. All right. On hit causes enemy to bleed for 5 seconds. On miss, damage on miss causes self damage and bleed for the player for 5 seconds. I mean, it's a good weapon, but honestly, I mean, I haven't used it, but I don't think I would use it. So I'm just gonna put it in have not used. So I think that's a pretty fair rating. All right, the atomizer. I have the atomizer in my loadout. The atomizer has a base damage of 30, a crit damage of 89, and grants the ability to triple jump while weapon is deployed. Melee attacks mini crit while airborne. 15% less damage against players, which is not ideal, and 50% deploy penalty. But the atomizer, in my opinion, just goes straight up to S. It is definitely one of my favorite weapons. It's in my loadout. That's what I use, and I think the triple jump ability definitely helps me out a lot. Honestly, I don't really use it to kill that much. I really just use it as a way of mobility. I mean, if I know they're at like, I don't know, let's just say 15 health, then I use my bat to finish them off. But rarely do I ever actually finish them off with the melee. If I'm up that close, I'll just shoot them with my primary weapon. Which, speaking of primaries, the babyface blaster. Now, if I go up to the babyface blaster here, right here. It has a base damage of 60, crit damage of 180, 6 damage times 10 pellets. So equipping the babyface blaster will slow the scout down from 133% of normal speed to 120 of normal speed. Okay. A boost meter is placed on the HUD when the babyface blaster is equipped, dealing damage regardless of the weapon used while equipping the babyface blaster. Builds up a boost meter, increasing the scout's speed to 173 of normal speed. The boost meter maxes at 100 points of damage dealt. Okay. But I mean, look at all that red. 34% smaller clip size, 10% slower movement speed on wear, boost reduced on air jumps, and boost reduced when hit. I mean, the hype meter, or not hype meter, that's the soda popper. The speed thing is honestly, in my opinion, I really don't like it, and in my opinion, like, mainly just because of that speed, because Scout's the fastest class. He needs that speed. And also all those negatives below it, I don't think it'd be good. So I'm putting it at D tier. Also, FYI, I forgot to say this in the beginning, but this is just my opinion. This is all it is, just my opinion. So please don't get mad at me. Alright? If you guys have some other opinions, like, oh, this weapon is horrible, then that's your opinion. But this is just what I think. This is what I like. Alright, moving on. The backscatter. So, has a base damage of 60, a crit damage of 180, and mini crits targets when fired at their back from close range. What do you know? The backscatter. 34% smaller clip size, no random critical hits, and minus plus 20 bullet spread. Okay. I mean, I think this would be a C tier for me, because I mean, Scout has the mobility. He can get behind enemy like really quick. But the no random critical hits and the 34% smaller clip size is not that good. But I mean, I think it'll make up for it when you're going around getting someone from the back. So I think that'll be good. Next up is the Bat Out of Hell. That's a weapon. And it has all these here. So the Bat Out of Hell has a base damage of 35 and a crit damage of 105. Honestly, probably not that good. I also haven't used it, but I just don't think that'd be good. So I think that's just gonna go in F tier. The Bat Saber is up next. I believe it's right here. Same thing. Again. It's same thing. Stock Bat. Honestly, the Stock Bat is the worst melee of the entire game. It is really bad. It's Scout's worst melee. It does 35 base damage. It's just bad. Like, really bad. Bonk Atomic Punch. Let's go up here. Bonk Atomic Punch. When used, the player is immune to all damage and is unable to attack. Knockback still affects the player. Okay. After the effect wears off, the user is subjected to slowdown effect based on the damage absorbed. This scales from 25% at low damage to 50% at 200 plus damage. The slowdown effect lasts for 5 seconds. The invulnerability effect lasts for 8 seconds and then has to recharge for about 22 seconds in order to be used again. I think I'm gonna put this at where should I put this? I'm gonna put it at B tier because I think it's really good. Cause like if you know how engineers are, so like when you have a giant sentry nest, and you're trying let's say 2-4 at the capture point, like the capture the flag point. Let's say they have a ginormous nest in there. You can use that you can drink that, and then go up pick up the intelligence while the sentries are all missing you. So I think that would be really good for capture the flag map. And so let's go ahead and put that at B. Really good. Next is the Boston Basher. Boston Basher is right here. Base damage of 35, crit of 105, bleeding for 8 seconds. On hit causes bleed to enemies for 5 seconds. On miss causes self damage and bleed to the player for 5 seconds. My thing is I'm gonna put this at C tier because it's mid for me. You just have to be really good at aiming with your melee in order that to be really effective. And I'm not really good with my melees. And so I'm just going to put that at C tier. You just have to have really good aim with it. Next up is the Candy Cane. Base damage of 35, crit 105. A small health pack is dropped when the player kills an enemy, regardless of what weapon the player is using in order to kill the enemy. But minus 25% explosive damage vulnerability on wearer. I'm gonna put that at D tier, I guess, because especially with soldiers and demo mans, that's gonna be really hard to use. So I'm gonna put that at D tier. What's next? The Capper. I've not used the Capper. But I've not used the Capper, so I'm gonna go over there. But I'll just go ahead and read it off. The Capper is base 15, and a crit is 45. Killed enemies suffer a distinctive death by incineration. Okay, so nothing really there. Bonk. So I think that's Criticola, I believe. Yep, Criticola right here. While under effect, guaranteed mini crits. Okay, making any attack while under the effect causes a 5-second marked for death debuff. Okay, the mini crit boost lasts for 8 seconds and has a recharge of about 22 seconds in order to be used again. Honestly, I'm gonna put that at B tier. Same thing. Actually, no, I'm moving it up to A tier because Criticola, that's gonna be really good, especially if you use it with the soda popper. That's gonna be really good to use, because you just gotta really deal damage, and when you do pop it, it's gonna do a lot of damage if you're like skilled. Alright, next is the Crossing Guard. base damage at 30, crit damage at 135. I'm just gonna put it at F tier, because again, it's not that good. Fan of War, down here. Alright, the Fan of War has a base damage of 9, but a crit damage of 26. On hit, one target is marked. One target at a time is marked for death, causing all damage to be taken to be mini crits for 15 seconds. Crits whenever it would normally mini crit. Deals 75% less damage. Honestly, I'm just gonna put it at F tier. Actually, no, I'm gonna put it at D tier. Even though, I mean, the damage is horrible, like really bad. It has a 75% less damage. But I think if you're skilled enough and you can hit all your shots, it'll be, target is gonna be marked for death, and you're gonna have mini crits for 15 seconds, and it would also crit when it would normally crit. So I don't know. Again, I think it's just a skill thing. All right, up next is the Flying Guillotine. Let's go up here, right here. It has a base damage of 50, a crit damage of 150, and it also has bleeding. Can be thrown to damage enemies, recharge after 6 seconds. On hit, causes bleeding for 8 seconds. Long distance hit reduces charge time by 1.5 seconds. No random critical hits, and cannot be picked up after being thrown. I think, again, I'm gonna put it at C tier. It's good. And also, I mean, I think it's good. But you also, you just have to be really good at aiming. So I think you gotta be good at aiming for it to be effective. So again, I'm just gonna put it at C tier. The Force of Nature. Base damage is 65, crit 194, which is really good. On hit, it applies a knockback effect that propels enemies backwards and the user in the opposite direction if airborne. This allows the user to perform a force jump and to horizontally prolong their other jumping technique. Okay, plus 50% firing speed, plus 20% more pellets per shot, minus 66% clip size because it's a double barrel shotgun, so it only has 2 shots. 10% less damage per pellet. If one shot is used before reloading, it is lost. Okay. Oh, if one shot is unused before reloading, it is lost. I'm gonna put this at A tier. I use it quite a bit, but I mean, it's also firing speed as well. It's just mainly just because it's a double barrel. You're not gonna have that many shots. But I'm gonna put that at A tier because if you get up in close, whoo, buddy, you're gonna do a really good damage. All right, the next one is, what is the next one? I don't know that one. The Freedom Staff. Base damage of 35, crit of 105. I'm gonna put that at F because that is really bad. The Ham Shank, same thing, goes into F. Holy Mackerel, same thing, but I'm gonna put it up slightly higher because of one thing. Fish kills. Alright, next is the Luggermorph, if you didn't see it. Luggermorph, right there. Base damage of 15, crit of 45. It has 12 ammo. It has 12 in the clip. So I think that's decent. It's basically a pistol. It's the same thing as the stock pistol, so I'm gonna put it at C tier. That's good. Alright, next up is the Mad Milk. Mad Milk is right here. Any damage except afterburn done to enemies covered in milk restores 60% of the damage dealt onto the attacking player's health. Okay. Partially nullifies cloak on spies. Extinguishes fire on wielder and allied players. Has a 20-second recharge time. 20% decrease in recharge time when you extinguish an allied player. I'm gonna put it. I mean, it's really helpful for when you're going against pyros and if other teammates are going against pyros, because then you can extinguish yourself with that. But honestly, I don't really. I'm gonna put it at C tier, but for one reason, I'm gonna move it up to B, and that is for A-posing. A-posing scout gets a B tier. But if you're using it for actual combat, C tier, in my opinion. The Memory Maker. Let's go down to the Memory Maker again. I'm still gonna... This is really rare to find. Like, that's really hard to get. So I'm just gonna put it at F tier because base damage 35, crit 105 is not good. The Mutated Milk is up next. Any damage... same thing as the Mad Milk. I'm going to put this... I'm gonna put it at C tier because, again, C tier Mad Milk is for actual combat. B tier is for A-posing scout. The Obstructor, Contentious Objector. Sorry. Again, in my opinion, I'm just gonna put it there. I'm gonna put it at F because that's still not good. Frying Pan. I'm gonna move it up to D tier, mainly just because of the loud noise that it does. Stock Pistol. Let's go up to the pistols. Base damage of 15, crit 45. I'm gonna put that at C tier again because same thing. Because it's the same thing as the Luggermorph. So the Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol is up next. As a clip of 9, base damage of 15, crit is 45. On hit, you gain up to 3% health. 15% firing speed, but have a 25% much smaller clip size. I'm gonna put this at B tier because even though it has like such a small clip size, it makes up for the +3 health and +3 firing speed. So I mean, if you're at like, say you're at like 10 health and you're going up against a heavy that is screaming medic and needs a health pack, you can finish him off with your pistol and gain +3 health back. So you'll gain more health on shot. What is this one? Brainy Machete. I'm going to put that at F because that's just my opinion. The Sandman is up next. So the Sandman has a base damage of 35 and a crit of 105. But the ball that you fire that goes with it, the ball that fires has a base damage of 15 and a crit of 45. Alt Fire, which is your left mouse button, launches a baseball that slows the enemy between 1 to 7 seconds depending on distance. So like if you're up close and personal, then you hit him with a ball that's like 1 second of slowness. But if you're like across the map and you manage to hit him, that's 7 seconds of. So it like depends on the distance on how far. The baseball will recharge over 10 seconds. Can be picked up from a picked up from the ground after launch, or can be replenished from a resupply cabinet. Lose 15% max health. I'm gonna put that at D, because I guess like the slowing is good, so then you can go up and finish them. But I mean, Scout has 125 HP max. You're gonna take 15%. You're gonna take 15% off. 15 off that. 110. Yikes. That's not good. That's really not good. Yeah, Scout is such a fragile class. He needs every health he can get. Alright, the Shortstop is up next, so let's go over here. Shortstop, plus 42% firing speed, 100% more damage per pellet, has a clip-based reload. Alt fire does a shove that pushes enemies, but 60% fewer pellets per shot, 33% smaller clip size, and 20% increase in push force taken from damage and air blast while deployed. I think mainly I guess 60% fewer pellets per shot. That's not really too good, so I'm just gonna put it at C tier. And for that one, you have to get like really close and personal in order to do some type of damage with it. So I'm not really too good. I'm not really too happy about that. The Necro Smasher, I'm just gonna put that at F because that's where it belongs. The Soda Popper. Where's the Soda Popper? All right. The Soda Popper. Base damage of 60, crit damage of 180. A hype meter is placed on the HUD when the Soda Popper is equipped. Damage dealt by the player will build up hype after dealing roughly 350 damages. The player can activate hype mode for 8 seconds, allowing for 5 additional air jumps. Wow. So, and then plus 25% reload speed, 50% firing speed, 66% smaller clip size. If one shot is unused before reloading, it is lost. I'm gonna put this at probably it's basically the same thing as Forza Nature, but with a soda popper on the bottom, and you get like more shots when you use it. So I'm gonna put that at A tier with the what is it? Oh, with the Force of Nature. Alright, next is the unarmed combat. Let's go down to melees. Same thing. Base damage of 35. Y'all know how I feel about that. Next up was the Sun on a Stick, I believe. Yep, Sun on a Stick. It has a base damage of 26 and a crit damage of 79. Guaranteed critical damage on burning targets. So, I guess if you can have a pyro on your team that wants to help you with that, that'll be really good. 25% damage resistance from fire while this weapon is active. Okay, I guess that's good. But 25% less damage. I don't know. I think I'm gonna put that at C tier. Sorry for the glitch right there. Where'd it go? Yeah, I'm gonna put that at C tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put that at C tier because it's good. You just have to have a you just have to have a pyro help you. Oh, the stock scatter gun. Base damage is 60. Crit is 180. 6 damage. 10 pellets. Boy, that's going up all the way to S. In my opinion, the stock scatter gun is arguably the best weapon for scout. The best primary weapon and the best weapon in general. That is definitely a good one. I love using it. That's my main gun. That's my go-to gun to use for scout. So that's definitely my favorite primary for scout. All right, next is the winger. Let's go down to the winger. All right, base damage of 17, crit damage of 52, 15% more damage. That's really good. Jump height increased by 25% when active, but 60% smaller clip size. So you have 5 shots in it. So it's basically a better version. I'm gonna put that at B tier because I use it as well. If I'm not doing the opposing scout or the pretty boys, if I need like mobility, then I'm gonna use that. The mobility is really helpful, in my opinion. So that's what I'm gonna put it at B tier. All right, the Rap Assassin is next, as the last one. So the Rap Assassin, the base damage is 12, the crit damage is 37. The ball, like the little bauble, the Christmas ornament that you hit with it, is base damage of 15 and the crit damage of 45. But it when it hits you, you have a bleeding factor for 8 seconds as well. Alt fire, left mouse button, launches a festive ornament that shatters, causes bleeding on direct hit, and explodes, hurting everyone close to the explosion. The bauble will recharge over 7.5 seconds, or can be replenished from a supply closet. 25% increase in ball recharge rate, and 65% less damage. I'm going to put it in C tier for me, because you gotta have really good accuracy with it. And accuracy is just nothing I'm too good at. I mean, I'm good at it, but just not good enough to hit an ornament at someone. So yeah. But that is my list. This is just my opinion. Maybe my opinions are maybe you have a different opinion than me. That's okay. That's why it's called opinions. But this is just my scout weapon tier list. I think it's good for me. If you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. Alright, later guys.